Grocery shopping is an essential part of our daily lives, and we rely on a steady supply of affordable food to sustain ourselves and our families. However, in recent years, many consumers have noticed a significant increase in grocery prices, causing concern and frustration. This phenomenon has prompted us to explore the various factors contributing to the rising cost of groceries. In this episode, we will delve into the key reasons why grocery prices are so high and the broader economic and societal implications of this trend. Supply chain disruptions. One of the primary reasons for high grocery prices is supply chain disruptions. The COVID-19 pandemic wreaked havoc on supply chains worldwide, causing delays, shortages, and increased transportation costs. Lockdowns, restrictions, and labor shortages disrupted the production, distribution, and transportation of goods. Consequently, the supply of certain food items became scarce, leading to increased prices. Inflation. Inflation is a critical factor affecting grocery prices. When the overall price level of goods and services in an economy rises, the purchasing power of money decreases. This means that consumers need more money to buy the same amount of groceries they used to. Inflation can be driven by various factors, including increased demand, rising production costs, and changes in monetary policy. Weather and climate change. The agricultural sector is highly dependent on weather conditions. Extreme weather events, such as droughts, floods, hurricanes, and wildfires, can devastate crops and disrupt food production. Climate change is causing more frequent and severe weather events, making agriculture increasingly vulnerable. These disruptions lead to reduced crop yields and higher prices for agricultural products. Increased demand. Rising global population and changing dietary preferences have led to increased demand for certain types of food, particularly protein-rich items like meat and dairy. As demand outpaces supply, prices for these products rise. Additionally, as developing economies grow and their middle classes expand, there is a greater demand for higher quality and more diverse food products, further driving up prices. Energy costs. Energy costs are a significant component of the agricultural supply chain. Farmers require energy for machinery, irrigation, and transportation. As energy prices increase, so do the costs of production and distribution, which are often passed on to consumers in the form of higher grocery prices. Labor costs. Labor costs are another crucial factor influencing grocery prices. Agriculture and food processing require a substantial workforce, and when labor costs rise due to factors like minimum wage increases or labor shortages, these additional expenses are reflected in the final price of groceries. Global trade and supply chain complexity. The globalization of the food industry has created complex supply chains that can be vulnerable to disruptions. When an issue arises in one part of the world, it can ripple through the entire supply chain, affecting prices. International trade tensions and tariffs can also lead to increased prices as they disrupt the flow of goods and add additional costs to imported products. Market concentration. Market concentration refers to the dominance of a few large companies in the food industry. These companies have significant control over pricing and supply, which can lead to higher prices for consumers. When a small number of companies control the majority of a particular market, they can influence prices by limiting competition. Government policies and regulations. Government policies and regulations can have a substantial impact on grocery prices. Subsidies, import-export restrictions, and tariffs can all affect the availability and cost of certain foods. Additionally, regulations related to food safety, labeling, and production standards can increase compliance costs for producers, which can also be passed on to consumers. Speculation and price volatility. Financial speculation in commodity markets can lead to price volatility in the agricultural sector. Traders and investors can drive up the prices of food commodities through speculative activities, leading to short-term spikes in grocery prices. The impact of high grocery prices. The consequences of high grocery prices extend beyond the checkout counter. Here are some of the broader implications. Food insecurity. High grocery prices can contribute to food insecurity, making it difficult for low-income individuals and families to access nutritious food. This can lead to adverse health outcomes and perpetuate the cycle of poverty. Inequality. Rising grocery prices can exacerbate income inequality, as low-income households spend a larger proportion of their income on food. When food prices increase, these households have less money to allocate to other essential expenses, such as housing and healthcare. Health concerns. High grocery prices can deter individuals from purchasing healthier food options, as processed and unhealthy foods may be cheaper. This can have long-term health consequences, contributing to obesity and other diet-related health issues. Economic impact. High food prices can impact overall economic stability. When consumers spend more on groceries, they have less disposable income to invest or spend in other sectors of the economy, potentially slowing down economic growth. Agricultural sustainability. The pressure to meet rising demand can lead to unsustainable farming practices, such as overuse of pesticides and fertilizers or deforestation. These practices can harm the environment and threaten the long-term viability of agriculture. High grocery prices result from a complex interplay of factors, including supply chain disruptions, inflation, weather, increased demand, energy costs, labor costs, global trade, market concentration, government policies, and speculation. These factors, individually or collectively, can drive up the cost of food, making it more challenging for consumers to access affordable and nutritious options. Addressing the issue of high grocery prices requires a multifaceted approach that involves governments, businesses, and consumers. Policies that promote agricultural sustainability, support low-income households, and ensure fair competition in the food industry can help mitigate the impact of rising prices. Additionally, consumers can make informed choices, such as buying local or seasonal produce, to manage their grocery expenses and contribute to a more sustainable food system. Looking forward, Strategies for mitigating high grocery prices. As the challenges surrounding high grocery prices persist, it is essential to explore strategies and solutions to alleviate the burden on consumers and promote a more sustainable and equitable food system. Here are some key approaches that can help address the issue. Support local and sustainable agriculture. Encouraging local and sustainable agricultural practices can reduce the reliance on complex global supply chains and lower transportation costs. Supporting farmers' markets, community-supported agriculture, CSA, programs, and local food initiatives can contribute to a more resilient and cost-effective food system. Invest in agricultural innovation. Research and development in agriculture can lead to more efficient and sustainable farming methods, potentially increasing crop yields and reducing production costs. Innovations in biotechnology, precision agriculture, and sustainable farming practices can make a significant difference in the long run. Government intervention. Governments can play a pivotal role in stabilizing food prices. Targeted subsidies for essential food items, social safety nets for vulnerable populations, and policies that incentivize responsible agricultural practices can help mitigate the impact of high grocery prices. Promote food education. Educating consumers about nutrition, meal planning, and budgeting can empower them to make healthier and cost-effective food choices. Cooking classes, nutrition programs, and public awareness campaigns can contribute to more informed decisions. Reduce food waste. A substantial amount of food is wasted at various stages of the supply chain, from farm to table. Initiatives to reduce food waste can help lower production and distribution costs, ultimately benefiting consumers through lower prices. Diversify food sources. Reducing dependence on a limited range of food sources can make the food system more resilient. Exploring alternative protein sources, supporting plant-based diets, and embracing culturally diverse cuisines can lead to a more varied and affordable food landscape. Advocate for transparency. Consumers can advocate for greater transparency in the food industry. Supporting labeling initiatives that provide information about the origin, production methods, and environmental impact of food products can help consumers make more informed choices. Collaboration across sectors. Governments, businesses, and civil society organizations can collaborate to address the root causes of high grocery prices. Partnerships that promote sustainable agriculture, ensure fair wages for workers, and incentivize responsible corporate behavior can contribute to a more equitable food system. Research and data analysis. Continuous research and data analysis are essential to understanding the dynamics of food prices. This information can inform policy decisions, supply chain improvements, and consumer behavior changes. Consumer consciousness. As consumers, being conscious of our choices can drive change. Supporting brands and products that prioritize sustainability and fair labor practices can encourage businesses to adopt responsible policies. The issue of high grocery prices is complex and multifaceted, resulting from a combination of factors that affect the entire food supply chain. While there may not be a single solution to this problem, a combination of strategies involving government intervention, sustainable agriculture, consumer education, and responsible business practices can contribute to a more affordable and equitable food system. It is essential for individuals, communities, and governments to work together to address the root causes of high grocery prices, ensuring that everyone has access to affordable, nutritious, and sustainable food. By taking a holistic approach and fostering a sense of responsibility among all stakeholders, we can strive for a future where grocery prices are more manageable and food security is enhanced for all. Challenges and controversies. While the strategies mentioned above offer potential solutions to the issue of high grocery prices, there are challenges and controversies associated with their implementation. It's essential to consider these aspects when working towards a more affordable and equitable food system. Trade-offs between sustainability and affordability. Promoting sustainable agriculture and reducing environmental impacts may lead to higher production costs, which could, in turn, increase grocery prices. Striking a balance between sustainability and affordability is a complex challenge. Policy implementation. Effective government policies and regulations require careful planning and execution. The success of such policies depends on factors like political will, administrative capacity, and public support, which can be challenging to attain. Corporate influence. Large corporations often wield significant influence in the food industry and may resist changes that could impact their profitability. Overcoming corporate resistance to sustainability and transparency initiatives can be an ongoing struggle. Cultural and dietary preferences. Changing dietary preferences and food cultures can be met with resistance. Encouraging people to embrace more sustainable and affordable food choices may require significant cultural and behavioral shifts. Economic disparities. High grocery prices disproportionately affect low-income households. Addressing this issue requires not only lowering prices but also increasing incomes and access to resources for vulnerable populations. Global food security. Policies that prioritize domestic food production may inadvertently impact global food security by limiting exports. Striking a balance between supporting local agriculture and participating in global trade is a complex challenge. Technological and ethical concerns. The adoption of new agricultural technologies, such as genetically modified organisms, GMOs, can be divisive due to concerns about their long-term environmental and health impacts. Ethical considerations must be part of the conversation about the future of food production. Data privacy and transparency. Efforts to increase transparency in the food supply chain may raise concerns about data privacy and security. Balancing the need for information with protecting sensitive data is crucial. The rising cost of groceries is a multifaceted issue influenced by a combination of factors, including supply chain disruptions, inflation, weather, increased demand, energy and labor costs, global trade, market concentration, government policies, and speculation. These factors interact in complex ways, making it challenging to pinpoint a single solution. Addressing high grocery prices requires a collaborative effort from governments, businesses, consumers, and civil society organizations. Sustainable and equitable solutions should balance economic, social, and environmental considerations. It is crucial to mitigate the impact of high grocery prices on food security, inequality, and health while promoting responsible consumption and production. By continuing to explore innovative approaches, advocating for transparency and fairness, and prioritizing sustainable practices, we can work towards a future where grocery prices are more manageable, and access to affordable and nutritious food is a reality for everyone. It is a collective responsibility to ensure that the global food system remains resilient, sustainable, and inclusive for generations to come.